Can you hear all that shit that's happening in the background?
I cannot.
Okay. Someone is either having fun or being murdered. I don't know.
I mean, but those don't have to be mutually exclusive. Someone can be having fun while murdering another person.
That's okay. I took that as someone's just done with life, and they're like, "Ah, this is enjoyable being murdered." I was tired of living anyway. Is that a knife? That's great. I feel like no one uses knives anymore. Good for you for bringing back the classics.
Yo, I mean, honestly, after all this gun talk, I'm happy for you. Just
what is that, Cutco? Oh man.
You know those don't work.
No, they work. I mean, Cutco is a terrible corporation, but their product is great.
Hey, product you can stand by. That's why they get so many people in. Try out these knives. You can stab people with them.
That was my first job.
That was also my first job. Psych. I had an interview and I was super happy. And then I researched what it was and I was like, oh no, I'm not going to go to this.
See, I knew exactly what it was and I went to it anyway because I didn't like disappointing people. So they'd already given me the interview. I didn't want to be rude and turn down the interview. But I was like, yeah, I'm definitely not accepting the interview. And then when they told me that I had the job, I just felt so good about myself that I said yes because
I have a job.
Because so many people had told me no. Straight out of high school, Brian would have been really susceptible to get into a cult. If I just found the right cult leader, they would have easily sucked me in.
You are loved.
All they'd have to do
gosh, me.
All they'd have to say is that they liked me, and I'd be like, all right.
Oh shit!
What is this, Kool-Aid? Love Kool-Aid. Off. Spin-off podcast. Hi, I'm Brian.
I'm Shaheer.
And this is
Spin-off,
the podcast where we take popular shows or not popular shows. We don't judge. And we create, where we don't create shit. We pitch spin-offs of that show.
That will never be created.
That will never be created because we're lazy and no one's going to take our dumb ideas.
Not because we're lazy, but more so because everything we do is actually unacceptable to most people that create content.
I just meant we're lazy as in we'd never create these ourselves. Also, we don't have the rights, but who cares? Who cares?
Yeah, and we are also lazy.
It's and just... no one who that's what I'm saying. We're lazy, but no one who has the rights would ever create these because they're horrible.
Yeah.
So both scenarios where this would be created are automatically obsolete.
But I mean, you guys enjoy them, so thanks.
Or you don't enjoy them.
And you just listen. Fucking hate this shit.
This makes me so angry, but I hate myself. Our main
to all my masochists.
Yeah.
We appreciate your patronage.
I can't say that I understand your life, but I appreciate that you hate yourself enough to listen to our podcast.
You could have been doing anything terrible to yourself, but you're here with me. I appreciate that.
Yeah, there's a lot of ways to torture yourself.
Yeah. I guess they could be doing something simultaneously.
But still, we're in the mix, so that makes me excited.
If you're autoerotic asphyxiating yourself right now while listening to this podcast, that's a very interesting choice.
Yeah, can you... I was about to say send us...
send us photos.
Send us pictures, but I don't want those.
Okay, nah.
But tweet at us.
I burned myself with a lit cigarette while listening to the American Dad episode. Hashtag hot. And if you're just regularly enjoying the show, thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks to you too.
Again, I don't understand your life either, but I appreciate it.
I feel like you're probably a less interesting person, but you're still cool. You're cool nonetheless.
So Shaheer, what show are we spinning off?
This week we are spinning off the Netflix original series Big Mouth. Created by Nick Kroll, Andrew Goldberg, Mark Levin, and Jennifer Flackett. Big Mouth is based on Kroll and Goldberg's teenage years growing up in Westchester County, New York, with Kroll voicing his fictional self.
The series follows 7th grade best friends Nick Birch and Andrew Globerman. Globerman. I really hope I'm pronouncing that right because I'm going to be saying it a lot this podcast. As they navigate their way through puberty, masturbation, and sexual arousal. Acting as sex-based shoulder angels are the hormone monsters. Throughout the series, the kids interact with people and objects who are personified in one way or... Okay, that's not important. What I said before was the important part. That's the summary of the show. It's funny because I feel like if the show wasn't on Netflix, there'd be a lot more like uproar about it.
You might be right.
If this had been put on like TV,
like actual television,
like we're just,
like cable TV,
like all those people who complain about shit are.
I don't know. Good question. Let's see. Because
I mean, I've already heard enough of it. Like I saw, so Funko make the pop toy figures. They released Big Mouth figures recently. And I just I followed, Pop Vinyl on Facebook. And I looked at like the first comment on there was, "This is disgusting. This show is children pornography." I was like, okay, chill, Linda. It's a cartoon.
It talks about all the topics that are subverted in modern day television.
I liked it, and I liked how it was just very in your face. A lot of shows have been like, "Oh, the awkward like puberty years," without flat out saying all
like exactly what you're doing,
like sexual related things that they're happening. And this was just very upfront. So this is where we talk about us going through puberty.
It all started when I was 4 years old. I got my first nipple hair, and I didn't know what it was. So I approached my den mother because I was the member of a sorority, and I asked her, "Den Mother Beatrice, what is this?" And she said, "Who are you?" And I said, "What do you mean, Den Mother Beatrice?" And she said, "Get out of my house. My name is Barbara. I am calling the cops." And that is the day that I realized that I have early onset dementia. How about you?
I saw a Polly Pocket and felt funny.
Oh. So Big Mouth.
Why is it called Big Mouth?
Because he has a big mouth.
Okay. I'll accept that as an answer.
Research department. Tell us why it's called Big Mouth.
We'll wait.
The episode just ends there. We wait for responses.
Next week's
and
episode.
Then we do the rest of the episode.
You're looking it up, aren't you?
Yes, I am. I just Googled it.
Do you ever think, like, before internet, when you didn't have Google readily available, and how you just had to, like, take people's words for things?
Yeah.
Like, someone would say something like, "I don't know if that's true, but you have glasses, so I think I can trust you."
I guess that makes sense. Huh? And then you go home and tell somebody, and they'll be like, "No, that's not true. Let me pull out my Encyclopedia Britannica and show you exactly why it's not."
But he had glasses.
All right, so Big Mouth. Surprisingly good show. 10 episodes in the season.
Big Mouth was one of those shows that I knew nothing about when I clicked on it. It just, for some reason, it was that and Stranger Things were two Netflix shows that I happened to be on Netflix like right when they came out. And I was like, I have nothing better to do. Let me click on this and see what this is.
And then 6 hours later, you're like,
yep.
Oh.
And now it has consumed my life.
Yeah.
They should do a...
Big Mouth Stranger Things crossover?
Yes. Oh my God. I'm glad you were thinking the same thing. Yep. Either way, either world, or do like a Jimmy Timmy Power Hour.
Oh,
and
shit.
just like switch worlds.
Hey, that's great.
Yeah.
I'd love to see
Upside Down. They could do it.
I'd love to see a pregnant pillow inside the Stranger Things world.
I feel like we're spin-off as a show. We're doing a separate spin-off before a spin-off. I think the whole podcast is enveloping inside itself.
I'm scared.
We've created the third dimension.
The fourth dimension?
I said what I said.
Okay. So
we created a dimension that already exists.
So should we go into... Shit.
Next, we'll create the first dimension.
Third dimension first.
We will not create the second.
Oddly enough, the third dimension was created while creating the first dimension. What about the second dimension? It never happened. But it's there. Exactly.
So Big Mouth.
Yes.
You know, every time I like to say when we've done the first on this podcast, but it's pretty early, so there's a bunch of firsts. This is the first Netflix show that we've done. This is the first show that has one season, and also it's not the first that's continuing, but it's the first show that has one season and is maybe continuing. Maybe
I'm pretty sure it is.
Is it still going on? Okay, that's about it. That's all the firsts. Is there another? There's got to be another first, right? Let's dig for a first.
Oh no, it's our second show of middle schoolers.
Okay, and our third animated show.
Mm-hmm. And our third non-adult show. But our first adult animated show? No.
American Dad.
Yeah.
Wait, did you say non-adult show?
Show without adult leads is what I mean.
Okay.
This is an adult show.
Children are not watching this.
But I mean, should they? That's what I was asking earlier is, so you said that it would be a little bit more conversational and problematic if it was on a bigger channel.
You're right though, but I feel like a middle school kid watching this, like it kind of connects with them more.
Yeah, like I would watch this show when I was a kid.
Yeah, but it's weird because it's still inappropriate in a way.
I mean, it is inappropriate,
but at the same time, it's very appropriate.
Yeah,
it's
a catch-22. Yeah.
But I like that some people got upset over the whole like female masturbation thing, but there have been talking penises on TV. It's been a thing. I can't cite a specific source, but there have definitely been talking penises in some form of media.
But have there been Jewish puberty monster penises that talk?
I mean, there's a first for everything. I would Google talking penis, but I'm afraid.
Jewish talking penis.
Jewish talking penis.
I'm sure Big Mouth would be the first thing that pops up if you typed in Jewish talking penis.
No, I'm too afraid to check.
I mean, don't check.
I mean, I'm on your internet, so it's fine. I'll just go to incognito, and
that's cool. This is what happens when you open up your internet to the world. Horrible things happen.
I remember the first time I saw someone going incognito and they weren't looking at porn. I was like, oh, it's for other things?
But yeah, no. So what I was saying earlier is if it was on Adult Swim or Comedy Central, I think it would be one of those shows that comes on after 10 o'clock. So children are less likely to see it. And if they do, then it's going to be sneaking watching it, right? Whereas with Netflix, it's there as a cartoon as soon as you like go into Netflix. So
right. But so what I was saying more of, I feel like regular TV, people react differently to it. Like there's so much stuff on Netflix that it all gets kind of pushed away. So it's not in the.
I think you're conflating. I think you're conflating like network TV with cable TV. Okay, I don't think cable TV is that big. Like there are shows that have come on that have been crazy that haven't got much flack.
Yeah, I mean this would never
like a lot of shit on Adult Swim.
This would never be on like NBC or CBS.
Yeah,
ABC.
They're
ABC,
definitely.
Oh my god, ABC.
They're not showing talking vaginas on any network television channel. Not even on TBS.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Very funny.
Yes.
So Shaheer.
Yes.
What is your spinoff?
So the premise of my show is,
Mr. I don't need my notes.
I mean, I don't have notes. I'm actually just looking on Wikipedia because his name is Coach Steve, not Coach Nick, and I keep saying Coach Nick in my head. So Coach Steve.
How much you call a volunteer person?
The name of my show is actually called Volunteer Person.
Oh my god!
And it takes place with Coach Steve.
Are you sure it's Coach Steve? I think it's Coach Nick.
No, it's Coach Steve.
I'm just gonna say you're wrong.
Nick is the kid, so Coach Steve is the coach.
So is he the kid from the future?
No, I hope not. Anyways, all right. So Coach Steve, one of my favorite characters on the show, he has recently won the lottery. He finds out that he won the lottery, but did not know because he is incapable of reading. He has a learning disability, so he has had a winning lottery ticket on his table for the last 3 years.
What if it's just been framed because he liked the image but didn't know what it said?
So he finally cashes that out, and he decides to continue his life as a volunteer person, volunteering with several different groups and people in a format that is basically equivalent to the Arthur spinoff Postcards from Baxter.
Is incorporated into real footage of real kids?
Well, not kids, but it's the same format. So it's a live action shit, okay. But he's learning. So
fun fact, PBS cut out an episode of Postcards from Baxter that featured a lesbian couple.
Oh.
So
shame on you, PBS. Chicks. Oh, so you can't talk? Shit. I forgot how to unjinx somebody. How do you unjinx somebody? I have to Google it. How do you unjinx somebody? A jinx can be initiated when at least 2 people say any same word or phrase at the same time. That game ends when someone speaks the jinx's name or the jinxie speaks. So I just have to say Brian.
Oh my God, thank God.
Sweet.
I wanted to tell you so badly how to unjinx me and I couldn't.
All right. So like I said, my show is going to be called Volunteer Person, and it is a docu-comedy. Technically a docu-comedy. A mock-you-comedy.
It's funny because I almost did a spinoff from him as well. It was not going to be the same. I didn't think about it enough to either confirm or deny that it is different, but it probably wouldn't be it probably would be different.
Okay.
So thanks for listening.
So what's your spinoff?
That's a good question. God, there's just so many characters you can do. That'd be entertaining.
Yeah. There are so many characters that leave it wildly separate lives.
Yep.
That you could just spin off.
Which makes my choice kind of weird. So I'm going to say I went to the fan wiki page, and the character I chose to spin off does not have a page. So if you're listening to this and do things like make fan wiki pages, you should probably make a page for him.
I'm on it right now. Big Mouth Wiki. I just got a message. I just got a message. I just got a message. I wonder who it's from.
Except I know who it's from because we're in the 21st century and we can see names of people.
I actually have nobody saved on my phone. I like surprises.
So someone's like, hey, meet me at this place. You're just like, okay, wonder who it is.
Yep, exactly.
Hope it's not that guy who keeps trying to murder me.
Like sometimes I use context clues, but other times I'm just like, you know what? Let's go for it.
His text message said nothing about murder, so I thought it was cool. Yeah. Hold on, I am following this up, but
are you sure?
I don't know. I could just end it here. I could just walk away right now from the entire podcast.
Yeah, nobody would know.
No one would know. No, we're not going to self-hate ourselves this time.
No self-hate. And then this is our least listened to episode.
It's like, we like the self-hatred. They're too positive.
No, I guess not.
Their egos are a little too big. They don't hate themselves this time.
What, you think you're special because you know your follower count? We actually don't yet, so.
I'm guessing it's a fraction.
like it's literally a fraction. A third of a person follows us.
All right, so the character I'm spinning off is none other than Andrew Globerman's father.
I like the father. I made a spin-off, but it's the same show.
That would completely change the game if a show was like, all right, we're taking our main character, we're spinning them off. The show's gone. What if Scrubs had taken
JD?
I was gonna say the actor's name, I forgot.
Zach Braff.
Yeah, had taken Zach Braff and moved him, and then started his own show as that character, but kept Scrubs going.
Other Scrubs.
Yeah.
Basically season 9.
No, they just made him they just made him not a main character.
Yeah, but there were whole episodes where he wasn't there at all.
Yeah, but Scrubs wasn't right. But I'm saying, what if there were 2 shows simultaneously going on? where he was
well, technically speaking, I understand what you're saying. It's even more crazy because if they just took one character from the show, spun him off into another show who was the main character, and then the original whole cast was still on the other show, that would be really weird.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, someone needs to do this. But no, I'm not pitching that. I'm pitching
it'd be like if Better Call Saul was Walter White's show.
Right, exactly. Or if any show spun off the main character. I think is what we're saying.
If The Simpsons was a show about Homer Simpson, if Law and Order was about Sam Waterston.
Now all of my spin-off bitches are just going to be spinning off the main character of the show. Okay, so.
So my show, Malcolm in the Middle spinoff, is Malcolm.
But he's no longer in the middle.
His brothers are dead.
God, he's an only child. He's all alone. Malcolm, all alone. So the character I'm spinning off is
Andrew Globerman's father,
Marty Globerman. All right, so my general pitch for this show is pretty short. Marty, after being married for years, he realizes that he has missed out on a forgotten lifelong dream of his. So he leaves his family to open up a seafood restaurant with Terry Bradshaw.
The actual Terry Bradshaw?
The actual Terry Bradshaw.
Is that the end of your pitch?
I mean, that's a general pitch of the show, yeah.
The only thing that makes me sad about that is that there's just more divorce on the show, man.
But
so much sad.
Yeah, there has been divorce already, but I mean, growing up is hard.
He said, "I'm an angrily married man." What are you doing? You're an angrily married man.
But I figured that leaves Big Mouth as a show in a good place to continue because it can be Andrew kind of dealing with being, from a broken home, his mom being a single mother for the first time. That you can do things with that as a show, so the spinoff impacts the show, which most spinoffs do not. Most spinoffs just take a character who's kind of disappearing anyway.
Yeah, the only problem is that you're giving Jesse the same arc Jesse has right now.
That's different, though.
Is it because her father lives in the basement?
Because her parents...
And he went to start a restaurant with Terry Bradshaw?
Yeah. They're still together, but separate.
I mean, they're probably not together. She's a lesbian.
Yeah, but see, that's an element that hasn't been that I'm not introducing in the spinoff.
So it's only different because her mother is a lesbian and his mother isn't.
It's a different dynamic.
So there's three levels. You have Jay's father, who is always cheating on his wife, who is mentally ill, and then you have Jesse's father, who has been cheated on by her mother, that is a lesbian now. And then you have Andrew, whose father leaves his mother just because he's unhappy. That is three different styles of divorce.
Exactly. It's not the same kind of horrible divorce.
I just think because Andrew and Jesse are both very main characters, that Jay's affliction doesn't really have much to do with it. But I think that would be a little close.
But in the show, their similar heartache can bring them closer together as friends. And maybe even more.
You mean like Jesse with Jay?
Hey, Jay has his pillow. And I think they're in it for the long game.
I mean, they did run into each other. Spoiler alert.
See, now you're throwing all these facts into my pitch, and I'm realizing that this is just terrible.
It's only because Eric made you win last week, and now I have to poke holes in your shit now. Yeah, I'm coming for the jugular.
I'm not poking holes in your shit.
Yeah, because my shit can't have holes poked in it. You want to know why? Because my plot is plotless. My whole shit is driven by Nick Kroll voicing a cartoon character who goes places and does shit. Can't poke holes in that. Unless there's an expiration date on unclaimed lottery tickets.
Oh, there is.
Well, how long is it? This is another segment of us just Googling shit.
Lottery tickets expire and state law sets the time frame. This can range from 90 days to a year. Some lottery tickets will carry this information in the fine print on the back.
So he had his lottery ticket for 1 year. It was originally 3 months.
Or the whole time he had the money and just...
He's just been rich this entire time. Every time he's tried to have somebody hang out with him, he just had like this luxurious mansion, but nobody wanted to come. He had like a Michael Jackson Neverland ranch, and nobody wanted to visit him. All right, that's part of my show now. That's canon.
He says a Ferris wheel in his kitchen.
But no, continue. You're right. That is a different dynamic of divorce. You should have his mom immediately remarry so that he could have to deal with a stepfather he doesn't like.
She marries Jesse's dad.
And now they're siblings.
Boom, whole new dynamic.
Yeah, that is a real dynamic.
But
I don't think they're compatible.
He's only marrying her for her money that she doesn't have, but he doesn't know that.
Hey, man, Jesse's father seems like a good guy. He just likes to get high.
Yeah, I mean, but like, I can see a situation where he like needed a place to live and she felt like she had to be married. So he was like, and she couldn't have a man living in her house without being married. She's traditional and shit. So they got married. And I mean, it'd be no different than her past marriage, like sexless. You know, they don't talk to each other. All right, I'm not only spinning off shows, but I'm writing the future seasons of Big Mouth.
Yes. All right, great.
Call me.
So now you have to pitch concurrently the pilot episode of yours and the first episode of season 2 of Big Mouth.
Got too many changes I'm going through.
I'm going through changes.
All right, Shaheer, what is your pilot episode going to be like? Why am I talking like this? Why am I getting louder? When will it end? When will it end? Oh, now. Okay.
All right, so my pilot episode begins. Coach Steve finally gets a friend to his home, and he realizes
that he's a murderer.
No, that was also an episode. You know, he was a witness. I mean, not a witness, a suspect.
I don't remember. I completely forgot that Andrew went to jail.
Yeah,
like that. That was an actual plot thing that happened. He got sent to jail for murder because his jizz socks were all over the body.
Yep, and he went viral.
Because
that was how the show ended.
His lawyer was a divorce lawyer. Oh my God, I can't wait for the show to come back. It was so great. Reminded me a lot about growing up. Being framed for murder.
But yeah, so my pilot episode begins with Coach Steve finally gets a friend over to his house. They're looking and everything, and then they are actually, rather than being a scumlord smut who takes the lottery ticket, tells Steve that he has a winning lottery ticket and that he has to hurry and cash it quick before it expires. Boom, boom, boom. So he runs out, he cashes the ticket, and he is an instant millionaire. And they ask, all right, now that you are a millionaire, what do you want to do with your time? And he says, well, I've always liked doing what I do now. So he donates all of his money and keeps a little bit for himself and decides to be a volunteer person, going around helping where he can and seeing how things work. In a Postcards from Buster faction, the first episode is him learning where babies come from.
Can he donate it to a charity that doesn't actually exist?
No.
Oh.
He donates a little bit to every place that he goes to in the series.
So it's like he donates $1 to each. He ends up spreading out his donations so thin that he's really only donating a couple dollars to every charity.
Does that mean my show is going to last 1 million episodes?
Ultimately,
who
it's
knows?
Meaningless.
Here you go, guys. My donation of $1. This does nothing for us. But no, I mean, so part of it will be that the fact that they know that he has recently won the lottery and that he is going to be a philanthropist. So rather than being a person that nobody wanted to talk to or hang out with, he becomes a person that everybody tries to get to donate to their own personal organization and company. So it's a lot of wooing. He gets seduced by somebody who, oddly enough, tries to take his kidney, which has happened before.
This could also work as a prequel.
Nah, it's a sequel. He writes back to the kids.
Every episode starts with them just being like, he gave us another letter. Like he gave us another VHS tape of his adventures. I don't know why he's recording all of these on VHS.
But yeah, that's my pilot. Not much else to it.
Okay.
But he does go to volunteer at a hospital, and they just keep kicking him out of rooms.
Go in the hospital. He's like, I'm here to help. Here, move over. Let me do this brain surgery. I got it. You look tired. You've had a long day. I'll revive this heart. I got it. Just trying to help.
Oh man, and the first episode could be in the hospital with Nick's father. Boom, there you go. So what's your pilot?
So I both thought a lot about the pilot and not a lot at all. So we open with Marty and his wife, because I completely forget her name, sleeping nicely in bed. It's dark. All of a sudden, Marty jumps up and just shouts out, I regret every decision I've ever made. His wife wakes up, and he just starts saying things like, I never wanted this life. I never wanted to be married. There were so many more things I wanted to do. And then it goes into the intro. It goes into the theme after that. And the show cuts back to him leaving his family.
Barbara is her name.
Barbara. Okay. I got to go back and pitch this whole thing all over again.
Is his theme song also I'm going through changes?
No, it's I'm going through changes, but him singing it. I'm going through changes. I can't do an impression of him. I'm sorry. If who does his voice?
Richard Kind from Spin City and also Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
So Richard Kind, if you're listening to this,
my name is Shake Suwa, the mic ruler, the old schooler. You want to train? I bring it to you.
Is this what it's like when I start randomly breaking out in the song?
Yes.
Okay. So if you're listening to this, just send us your singing of the theme song. Thanks. XOXO. Brian. All right, so we begin the show. He's hugging his family goodbye, and he's got his bags packed. So obviously his wife is upset by this, him leaving her, and she finally asks him what his dream is. What's so important that he's leaving her for? Which he responds that he is going to open a seafood restaurant with Terry Bradshaw. To which she questions how he even get Terry Bradshaw to sign on to co-run a seafood restaurant, to which then he calls up Terry Bradshaw on his phone. Terry Bradshaw picks up and he questions how he got his number. He says, it's not time for that. I've got a great investment opportunity for you. To which Terry responds, look, the only thing I'm currently investing in are forgotten dreams of old Jewish men. And then it just cuts to them opening a seafood restaurant.
Great.
The cook is also a giant lobster. It is never commented on. It's just cool.
Oh man, it's also a spinoff of the Amanda Show.
He doesn't dance. That's not his life anymore.
Yeah, he doesn't dance. He makes money moves. That's a Cardi B reference.
There's just a picture of him in the background of him with tap shoes on. Just like, that's a life I've let go of long ago.
All right, so we got Terry Bradshaw and a giant lobster that talks as a chef in a seafood restaurant.
Yep. So the first night they're opening the restaurant. So as a marketing strategy, they realized the best way is to plaster Marty's face all over everything instead of Terry Bradshaw. So there's just a big moving statue of Marty just in the front of the building. And in tiny print, there's just with Terry Bradshaw.
I mean, Marty is a sex symbol.
It's a slow opening. No one's coming in. Funny things happen, I'm sure. This is a comedy after all.
Oh, so it is a comedy.
Yes, this is a comedy. It's a 2-hour-long drama.
Oh, great. 2 hours each episode?
I'm increasing the length of standard television shows.
Changing the way television is seen.
This is going to be a whole new reality. The third dimension.
Okay. All right. So what's next? Is that it?
So no, eventually, I mean, stuff happens. Terry ends up calling people he knows. It becomes a huge success their opening night. And it ends with Marty grabbing a plate of scallops and going gingerly into the night with his scallops, ready to enjoy the rest of his evening.
Hopefully shitting his pants as he walks away.
Well, now you just ruined the second episode. Just him on the toilet for half an hour.
For 2 hours. Jinx. Brian.
Jinx are really bad for podcasts. Why do we still follow these rules?
Can I ask you a question, though?
Yeah.
Why Terry Bradshaw?
Because there is a line in there where he's like, I only like 5 people. Terry Bradshaw. And there's other people, but that just stuck with me. And I realized it'd be great if you took that and extended it to him, just liking him so much that he was the first person you thought of to open a business with.
I just left that he doesn't know him at all.
Yeah.
He's just like, fuck it, man. It's great. Oh, that hurt. That warms my heart. Terry Bradshaw and a giant lobster.
I like
the giant lobster is a little bit better than Jason Statham as a chef, probably.
It's it's in the same reality.
But like, does he boil lobster?
I mean, it's a seafood restaurant.
I know.
Again, it's never discussed.
So so it's like is the reveal like the reveal of the cabbage? No, and the vegetables in American Dad?
He's reaching into the lobster tank and just pulling them out, just but like, it's never referenced. Nobody bats an eye. It's fine.
That's great, actually. The fact that it's just never referenced.
He's like, I fucking hate lobsters.
How many episodes do you think my show will get? Actually, I did not say what channel it would be on.
What channel do you think yours would be on?
PBS, of course.
You're going to say that.
It's like, no,
yes, it has to be PBS now.
No.
Let's call it PBS.
No, my show is not going to be on PBS. I don't want it to be on Netflix either. It's weird. I want it to be on...
Also, how long?
Oh, how long is each episode? 30 minutes. It's still 30 minutes. It's going to be on CISO, the failed comedy app.
What if this podcast alone revives a dead streaming service?
After Seesaw goes under, it gets picked up by Netflix. I mean, it's a Netflix original. It's really hard to pitch a Netflix original to a channel that's not Netflix. It's like Netflix going into an office like, "Hey Fox, how would you like some money?" And they're like,
yeah, I guess we haven't gotten to a point where Netflix has dropped a show and another network's picked it up. I don't know if we'll ever get to that point. I don't know how things work in the television world.
There's a lot. I mean, they canceled a lot of shows. Sense8.
Everything
sucks. Yeah.
So this is off topic. But like, I like how I have to say that. Like, we don't randomly go off topic.
This is off topic, like everything else.
There's only like 5 minutes of us actually being on the topic of the show,
if that,
and the rest of it is just those tangents. But I think it's interesting how around the same time, both Big Mouth and Everything Sucks, which are kind of based around the same thing of preteens kind of going through that awkward stage in life, we're on. But one was live action and one was animated, and one was slightly, more appropriate.
And it's funny because in the last episode of shit, I can't do Big Mouth. Yes, of course.
The show
the show that we're talking about. The last episode of Big Mouth after Andrew gets out of jail and finds out that he's viral. Spoilers if you haven't seen it, you should watch the show. Why are you listening to a spinoff? Yeah. So yeah, after he comes out of jail and he's talking to Maurice and Nick, and they're talking about profiting off it, and they're like, maybe we can make this into a show. And he's like, oh no. I mean, I guess it will work if it's animated.
Yeah, never live action. It could never be live action. But yeah, like, I feel like in a weird way, Everything Sucks was kind of a live action, again, nothing like it, but but in the same realm,
right?
Of
it's a step realistic. It's a step closer to realism,
right? Which is weird. It's weird to say Big Mouth is realism, where there's talking pillows and scallops and hormone
fuckable
monsters.
pillows to get pregnant.
Hormone monsters are very realistic.
Yeah, they are.
But like there have been very few shows that actually touch on, the puberty, like realistic middle. Like there are tons of shows that feature kids in middle school, but none of them touched on the actual like growing up aspects and how horrible it is. I'm having childhood flashbacks.
I'm sorry.
So many lockers.
Andrew in the show did point out a big fear of, I think maybe myself and maybe others, when he was talking about the possibility of dating Missy. When he was like, what do you want me to do? Start dating her, and then I'm gonna tell her deepest, darkest secrets, and then we'll break up, and then she'll tell her friends, and then they'll know my deepest, darkest secrets. It's like, shit, it's real.
That's why I just throw all my deep, dark secrets out on a podcast where everyone knows them.
Exactly. I was serious about when I was 4.
I was born with a tail, and I don't know why I say born with, because I still have it. It's still on me.
So you were born with a tail?
Yeah, but normally when you say born with a tail, people assume you meant like it was cut off, because most people don't have tails. I have a tail. I'm also a lizard person.
I mean, it's very visible. I've known for years.
My God, did you also notice that my tongue is a slit in it, and I am cold-blooded?
I mean, the scales are a big fucking giveaway.
Man, this has been a big moment in our friendship. I didn't know you knew. I feel like I can finally open up to you.
I wanted to treat you like a regular person.
Oh my God.
And
thank
not
you.
The weird lizard person that you are.
I'm also planning on taking over the world. I've got a lot of, stuff in the government right now.
All right, Brian, what channel is your show on?
That's a question.
I mean, we just discussed how it's probably really hard to get a Netflix show off of Netflix, yeah. But
I feel like this show's doing a lot. It's gonna go to Hulu.
Fuck it. Our biggest competitor.
Like someone at Netflix decided that they should make this show. So they pitched it to Netflix. Everyone at Netflix just laughed them out of the room and were like, "This is the dumbest fucking idea I've ever heard. Just fine, take it. Do whatever you want with it." And it goes to Hulu. And then they realize after Hulu picks it up that they have to make changes to their main show.
They're just like, fuck, why did we let this dictate us?
we really didn't think anyone would pick it up. So Hulu is going to have... I didn't see the title of my show.
You didn't?
No, I didn't. Oh, I'm really excited about the title of the show. It's called The Secret New Old Life of Marty Gluberman. But secret is CEACRET.
I get it.
Food.
Funny.
Yeah.
Hey,
yeah.
Very funny. Very funny.
Yep.
All right, so your show gets 2 episodes.
Perfect. That's 1.5 more than I thought it would.
It's like, now, let's see. Predicated on the success of Big Mouth, I think it can get concurrent seasons, but I don't know. I think you need one more supporting character from the original Big Mouth lineage, or at least an actor in Big Mouth to also be in the show. Because I don't know how successful Terry Bradshaw is to pull a crowd in, and I'm pretty sure Richard Kind can't do that himself. Give Jason Mantzoukas or Paul Scheer.
But they're both focusing on Big Mouth.
I mean, Paul Scheer's not really in Big Mouth a lot. Just make him like the lobster.
Okay, fine. Paul Scheer's lobster. What other voices does Paul Scheer do?
Paul Scheer is Kurt Blazarian, another older bullying brother to Jay Blazarian. So yeah, he can definitely be in it. Look at me, Paul Scheer, getting you jobs. Use the discount code BONKERS. Save 50.
Since the show will never be sponsored by Squarespace, we should just announce other podcasts' promo codes.
And once again, I want to say thank you to Jonathan Taylor Thomas for listening. You have been an absolute treasure.
You keep listening week after week, and you write us all those letters.
I framed your last letter. It was very special.
There was the picture you drew too with stick figures, which is weird.
Was that a tear at the bottom of the page that I saw?
God, that's beautiful, man. I really appreciate it. We really appreciate it.
And please be a guest. Like next time you're in town, we'd love to have you.
Yeah, we'll work something out. We'll talk to your people. But yeah, I know all your letters have been super, wanting to be on the show, and we'll definitely work you in. Also, the lock of hair was nice that you put in the one letter. The skin samples, slightly unnecessary though. So maybe tone it back slightly, but I like the heart of it. I like where it's coming from. And continue, being a diehard fan. We appreciate it. Okay, so how long do you think my episode's going to last? I mean, my show's... Oh my God, I did the same thing you did. How long do you think my show is going to last?
I just told you, right?
Did you? I wasn't listening.
Yeah, I said 3 seasons.
Okay.
Depending on the success of Big Mouth.
Okay. Yours... I give you... Yeah, fine. Let's give you 4 seasons. You could be bigger than Buster.
Yay!
I mean, as big as Buster.
Aww.
Don't get too cocky. Yeah, no, I like yours. He's such a genuine character. Definitely one of my favorite. I thought of doing him as well.
Yeah,
I know. Okay.
My favorite part of the show. He said, "Oh, great!" When he was drawing the picture of the penis, and he said, "I didn't see that coming." Oh, you want to see it coming? Give me a second. All right. So thanks again for listening to another episode of Spinoff Podcast. Maybe after another season, we'll be able to revisit, do another spinoff based on another inanimate object that Jay has jizzed into.
Yeah, that's the cool thing about shows that are continuing. We could
find new characters to spin off.
Yeah.
Take spin-offs into different directions. There's a lot of things that we can do with shows that still exist.
A lot of things. A lot of things. See, you people think that we're going to come to an end eventually. And we're never going to stop.
Nope.
We're just going to keep making podcasts whether you like it or not. And you probably will not.
My other option for a spinoff was going to be Nick growing up into the actual Nick Kroll and doing the Kroll show, just the animated version.
That would have been great. I had a lot of ideas. There was going to be one that entirely took place in the Pornscape.
Sweet.
I felt like
as long as Sly Stallone is the tour guide. I thought his name was Adrian.
No, again, you could have gone so many places.
The Italian stallion.
We can honestly go back to the show and do multiple spinoffs. I mean, I guess that's true about several shows that we've done.
Every show that we've done.
All right. After we've done 100 episodes, we're just going to go back
and do all of those 100 episodes.
But different spinoffs in order. So 101, Rugrats.
All right. We'll see you then. Be sure to head to tangentcreates.com/spinoff/Big Mouth and vote for which show you would rather see.
You can vote.
Volunteer person or it was so long. It was The New Secret Life of Marty Globerman.
No. The Secret New Life of Marty Globerman.
Okay, so I switched those 2 words around.
Secret New Old. Yeah, Secret New Old Life.
Oh, Secret New Old Life. Yeah. Yes. All right, so volunteer person or The Secret New Old Life of Marty Globerman. And you can listen to us on iTunes,
Stitcher, and maybe elsewhere one day. whenever you're listening to
this might be on YouTube. Who knows?
It probably, I mean, that might be next time, YouTube. If you're listening to this on YouTube and you're just like, hey, they're talking about me.
Thanks.
Hey, thanks for listening.
You're special. You're more special than everybody else who's listening to this podcast. iTunes subscribers, subscribe for YouTube.
Yeah.
And listen there now.
Because you were like, hey, I could listen to this like a normal podcast, but nope. I decided to watch it and see this picture of their face that doesn't move. So it's not a video, but
or if you have
audio,
YouTube,
like a video.
Or if you have YouTube Premium, you just turn your phone off in your pocket and listen to it.
But no, still look at our picture because I like it.
Just don't masturbate to it.
I mean, I'm not going to judge. Go ahead. Be you. Be who you want to be.
I'm not going to condone that. I will say yes.
You fine. Okay. You can cover Shaheer's face. Just masturbate to my half of the face. I'm okay with that. And yeah. Okay.
All right. Well, this has been Spin-Off. I'm sorry.
More to say, goddamn. But really, we do vote. When you vote for Shaheer, it makes me realize that I am shit. And it makes me feel like all is right with the world. When you vote for me, I get confused.
And when you just don't vote,
it just makes me sad.
You stifle democracy.
Yeah, and a kitten dies.
So vote.
Please vote.
Or die.
If you're a kitten. So once again, I'm Brian.
I'm Shaheer.
And this is
Spin-Off.
Spin-Off. Podcast.